Hood movie review. Hood movie review. Hood movie review. Watch us on YouTube. Is this thing on?
It's a perfect plan. We're out. What's so perfect? Took 20 years to come up with it. Why can't you just say thank you? You want me to say thank you? You can kiss my ass too. This is Hood Movie Review. And we got your host, of course, the bad guy himself. We got Kenny. And to my right, we got Sledge, the wise man. And down here we have Mr. Unbiased, TK.
AKA, I'm going by Hope Freeman nowadays.
Yeah. Hope Freeman.
Yeah.
This is, like I said, this is the Life episode. Some of you may not consider this a hood movie. I didn't, but hey, I like to watch the movie, so it's an excuse to watch the movie. So
hey, them niggas went to jail.
It's the niggas that I called
For life.
for life. Okay, so before we start the review, we always start with the soundtrack. What are we giving the soundtrack out of 5?
5.
Yeah, it was good soundtrack.
Soundtrack was tough.
What you doing again at home? I don't know the words to that
I was
song.
about to say,
What would you do if your son was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? Y'all niggas are stupid.
Hey, no, it's been a minute since I heard the song, but let me tell you something. That song is sad. First off, that song is sad. But we was in there,
and we was bopping to it. But it's me. This is what I call life. Like, no, you almost raped.
So this song is sad, just like this movie. This movie's sad too, but we still got the up. Like,
hold on.
That's a good one too.
That soundtrack had Maxwell Fortunate on there.
What Maxwell song was it?
Fortunate to have you, girl.
Oh, okay. When did they play that?
Sad. Yeah.
When did they play that? I don't remember that song in the movie.
I don't know. It's on the soundtrack. And
when they play that?
And they got Casey and JoJo live.
Yeah, that's I remember that. That's how the movie started. I feel like
just like 100 degrees. Back to Memphis to me. I feel like flying away.
Take it away from me. When it was old, I don't know if you see that video now.
Take it away from me. They had the headphones on.
You sound like me singing.
Hey,
when you singing like recently, that sounded terrible.
Headphones on and couldn't hear themselves.
They sounded awful. All right. So before we get to the movie, I'll get a little trivia thing too as well. This is Eddie Murphy's last R-rated film until Dolomite Is My Name in 2019. So that's crazy when you think about that. That's the last R-rated movie he had.
Norbert wasn't R-rated?
No.
What does R-rated mean? Wait a minute.
17 and up.
So wait. I'm trying to think because I could have sworn he had something else in there probably.
Nah, I remember he was doing a lot of kids movies for a little minute.
That's when he started his Shrek bag and all that.
Yep, he started doing the kids movies. He had a couple PG-13 movies here and there, but
what was Pluto Nash out?
Pluto Nash is
not rated R. That's my
Pluto
movie, but that's my movie.
Definitely.
Pluto Nash. That's not R.
Definitely.
No, it's not rated R.
PG-13.
Like Pluto, that's one of the movies. That's one of them. You know how people got them guilty pleasure movies. That's like it's a bad movie, but you like it for some reason. That's one of mine. I like that movie.
I never thought I could have swore Norbit was rated R.
No, think about it. There was no cussing for real like that. Besides, turkey ass. There was really nothing like crazy that going on in that movie.
He was drinking. They were drinking in that movie.
Norbit had them wine.
They was drinking in Pinocchio. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. Okay, so the movie starts with Heavy D, and I don't know who inmate is, but they're burying Claude Banks, which is Martin Lawrence, and Ray Gibson, which is Eddie Murphy. Go ahead.
Real quick.
That's Tyrone, ain't it?
We have to start giving Heavy D his flowers, bro.
Oh yeah. No, he's
like Heavy D. Heavy D is what MC Hammer was supposed to be.
Wait a minute. Nah, wait a minute. Wait. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. MC Hammer was bigger than Heavy D. He was way bigger than Heavy D.
I'm talking about for the culture wise, because Heavy D was with pop. Heavy D was kicking it with every black rap, every gangster rapper was kicking it with Heavy D, bro. Heavy D was for the culture. Heavy D was in almost every Heavy D was in New Jersey Drive, Kenny. Like, I don't think you understand. Like Heavy D was
MC Hammer wasn't like, I mean, he wasn't acting, but you gotta remember how big he was. Like, bro, he was doing commercials to
Yeah, we
promote to promote that concert, and he was even doing stuff in Japan. Like, he was like Konnichiwa. He was in there doing the most. He was doing Japan, Mexico. He's like, come on, everybody, come out here to this concert. Like, he was big.
Listen, man. I'm just
MC Hammer
saying, bro.
big.
Heavy
This
D
nigga did the Addams Family. They do what they want to do. They want to. Bro, that's how big. He was doing emo movies. He was big.
Bro, Heavy D, bro.
I give Heavy D his flowers, but like I said, I'm not gonna act like MC Hammer wasn't big too. Like MC Hammer was bigger than him. He just didn't have to.
But no, I wouldn't say that. I'm talking about like we really owe MC Hammer an apology because we really hated MC Hammer for making dance music. But Heavy D did the same thing though. We accepted him though.
I didn't hate it. I was like, too legit to quit that. Too legit.
I'm just saying, like as a culture, we really hated MC Hammer, but we loved Heavy D though.
I don't know. I like them both. I like them both. I like them both.
Can't touch this.
Yeah. I can't do that, Dan. But Heavy D, another inmate, like I said, I don't know who that guy was. They were Baron Claude Banks, which was played by Martin Lawrence, and Ray Gibson, played by Eddie Murphy. And they go back in time. They're like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but they were like, I don't know, I lost it. But they go back in time and they tell you more about them. And Claude has a new job. And he celebrates taking his girlfriend, played by Sanaa Lathan, out on a date.
Ooh, I love her.
She wants to get married and have kids, and Claude isn't ready. He's spending his drink and everything. He's like,
right. He just got a promotion and shit, and she talking about spending money already. Like
at the bank.
Yeah, he got a job at the bank. He goes into the bathroom. And he gets pressed by some gangster he owes money to. And they take his only $22. They said that was 2 weeks' pay. He said, "Man, I just got this money." I just got this. They take all 22 of his dollars. And meanwhile, Ray, we can tell, is like a fast-talking, like swindler. He lies to get into the exclusive restaurant, and he even tries to swindle Claude when he's in the bathroom, but he doesn't go for it. And he's like pretending, went to the same school as him, just to get close, and he pickpockets him.
Monroe.
He grabs his wallet. So what's his name? Claude tries to dine and dash, and gets caught. And Spanky, played by Rick James,
Spanky Johnson,
the restaurant owner and gangster, tortures Claude. And Ray, he's talking him out of it, but he's like offering him the bootleg for him. He's gonna have him as the driver. And here's a little trivia: Rick James, his limp in the movie, he was not acting. He had underwent hip replacement surgery.
Oh, I thought he went putting people on fire surgery. But go ahead.
He had hip replacement. And on the drive there, Ray brings up his idea for his club called Ray's Boom Boom Room. And Claude is real cold to him the whole time. And Ray is wondering like why he's like this. He said, "You messed up. Messed up my life. And I had a good job being a bank teller." He said, "Man, that's ladies' work." You
didn't even start yet.
Yeah, he did. He said you couldn't get a loan anyway. You're a thief. He's like, you need collateral. He's like, what about my daddy's watch?
Collateral.
He said, it's probably fake. He said, he probably stole it. He said, man, it's my daddy's watch. He said, it's my daddy. But he said, he probably stole that thing.
Hey, don't you talk about my daddy.
Talk about my dad. And Ray tells me, you can expect me, but not my dad, because he's dead. And they stop to get pie. But it's a no colors allowed restaurant. And
look, that was a funny part though, because she said, since y'all so good at reading, how y'all missed that sign on the door? Like, how did y'all miss the sign?
They didn't.
They had to miss the sign because as soon as Ray got in there, he was like, he could feel the tension. Claude was sitting there, Claude being Claude, so he, but Ray could feel that shit.
To be fair, the no colors allowed thing was on the inside.
It was on a different side. It was
on the wrong side.
Because
they turned around and looked at it, they was able to see no colors allowed. It wasn't like it was backwards where it was pointing out to the people. You know what I'm saying?
But Ray could have seen that when he walked in because he was looking around like, I think we should leave. I think we should get out of here.
Well, this is a perfect example of just how they were just brought up. Like,
I know.
Ray was very like
Street
aware
smart.
of everything, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Look, you know what I'm saying? Like not woke, but he was like, look, I know everything's going on." He's like, "I'm, you know, so he's perceptive." While Claude was like, he's willing to argue with niggas about, I'm on my pod, and he's argues like, "Nigga, this ain't the place to do that at." He's like trying to tell him like, "This ain't the place to do that at. Like, you kind of uppity a little bit. You need to chill out. Like, they gonna kill us."
I will say, I'm glad you said that though too, because I'm gonna tell you when he know when to hold him and he know when to fold him. Sound like too. So
Who, Ray or Claude?
Claude, because Claude was willing to argue with them for a little. I want my pod, Dad, And then once they did what they did, he understood. Okay, I'm not getting no pod from here. But there was another scene in there too when he just straight folded. You feel me? Like he wasn't willing to argue at all. So
well, there's a reason. There's a reason why. There's a reason why with that.
That nigga
But,
said. He said, "Hey man, well he said, why can't we just go?" He said, "Why don't you go down and get your own damn pie
I was gonna say they
and a glass of milk."
she said, "Why don't I turn?" He said, "We turn these whites only pies and a nigga pie."
Nigga pie. He said, "Hey." He said, "Let's just talk turkey. How much would it be to turn these white pies into nigga
he said,
pies?"
"You said about 35 miles."
35 miles up the road.
Turn y'all to nigga pie.
He said, "You said about 35 miles." All right.
5 miles up the road.
So they finished the job, and they pay $180 for the 36 cases that they get
For booze. A
For the
moonshine.
Yeah, but for the moonshine. And they hear music, and they like, and Ray's like, what's all the fuss about? What's that over there? And so Ray starts gambling.
That's what you call
with the money they need to get home. With the money they need to get home, he's gambling with the money they need to get home.
Bro, that's some sick. Hey, that's some sick shit.
Yeah, that's wild. He
was doing. He did right. He wasn't wrong.
Nah,
They need that
money to get home.
Go ahead and recap it, and then we'll talk about it. Go ahead and recap it.
Yeah. I was gonna say because Ray's gambling with the locals. And he's roasting them the whole time, like just talking mess. They make fun of him for being country. And Claude gets caught up with the prostitute, and she's gaming him up for a friend. He's like, okay, she's like, how much money you got on you? I think he said he had $2.
Hold on. I'm out. Nah. The funniest part, she was like, "What's your name?" He said, "I don't remember."
He said, Claude. That's
my name.
He took that shot. She was smooth. He took his shot. He started calling. He said, "Claude."
Claude. Yeah, she drank. She said,
"Oh, funny."
He said, Claude.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray loses his half of the money, and his dad is watching the card game. He loses to the dad from Purple Rain, Clarence Williams III, and he's in Half Baked, Samson. So he want to talk to Samson.
I want to talk to Samson.
That nigga be hollering every movie he's in. But like I said, he loses the money in the card game. And he finds out he was cheated when he sees the waitress have the cards in her hand when she goes to pick up the drink.
You're hurting me.
Yeah, you're hurting me. So he goes to find the guy's name is Hancock. He goes to find Hancock, and he's like, I'm not really mad about the money. He said, I'm mad about losing my dad's watch. And he's telling Claude about this, and Claude's like, I just lost my money too. He's like, to this religious girl, she needed exactly $2. She needed exactly $2 for the mother's operation. He said, $2. He said,
she sound real religious. Yeah, she sound real religious. But that's when he said, "Oh, don't
he sound real religious." Yeah, she looked real religious.
Don't even. What did he say?
You better don't even say. He said, "Don't even say watch. Say little clock."
Don't even say what little clock or something.
Don't even fix your mouth to say what. He's not knocking all your friends.
He said, "You'll be whistling."
When you see me, he said, what girl? He said, where that girl at? He said, what girl? He said, when you see me strangling her, you know what girl.
Whatever you see me choking, that's what I'm talking about. Bro, Eddie Murphy, I said this, Eddie Murphy was in,
was funny, bro.
Eddie Murphy was in rare form in this movie. This nigga, every line he said was funny in this movie. Every line he said was funny.
He was on shit, bro.
He said everybody should be
I feel like a lot of that might
might
have been like off the top though too. I feel like they were just letting him talk on that shit right there.
It was all ad libbed. And there's one part exactly that you see Martin break. You see Martin break when they're older. You see him.
Oh
you
yeah,
literally
I
see
know
him,
exactly what that bro. Because like even when I was watching, I was like, I seen it in there. He started smiling. That's when he said, and if I do, and if I do, I say,
he smiled big at the camera
Bro,
too,
he
and they
was
cut the scene
crying.
real quick.
He was crying during that part. Yeah, I've seen that shit. That's the one thing I did notice that was new in this movie. Like watching it, I noticed that he broke character in that scene.
Yeah, but so he broke some vicious. And they like I said, they leave the bar, and while this happens, Hancock is killed by a cop. Warren Pike is his name. I can think his name for a second. Claude and Ray, they walk up on this body after some time, and Ray tries to get his dad's watch back. He's like, "Man, you robbing the dead already?" He's like, "Nah,
He's been dead half a minute, and you run it through his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. He said he ain't been dead a half a minute.
And they get caught by some locals, and they see him standing over the body. It looks bad, and they're like, "Oh no, that's our friend. You know, he's just drunk." He's like, "That fella look like he dead."
That didn't sound. He didn't have to play. He didn't have to sound like that. I don't think.
He was country.
I
That
don't
nigga
think
was
he
cross-eyed. He
I
was
mean,
like, "Look,
Yeah.
you need
Here's
to
my
come
thing.
with us."
Here's my thing. Why didn't we just run?
They was gonna catch him for that nigga. They look. It was one of the things where you couldn't run from that situation. And they got a gun on them too. They're gonna get popped. So they end up getting arrested, and the cop that killed him, Warren Pike, is the one in charge of holding. And they're like, you know, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. And they end up getting life in prison.
He said the Spanky John. Does the name Spanky Johnson mean anything to you? He said no.
Nah.
No.
The whole time, Claude was trying to be a hype man in the back. Very wealthy, very wealthy. Like
Yeah.
shut up.
Like, y'all going to prison.
So y'all going for life. And the COs tell him, so when they get there, the COs tell him about the gun line that runs from shack to shack. Basically, you cross that gun line, you get shot. And if you
we ain't got no fences out here at Camp 8.
What?
We
We ain't got no friends out here at Camp 8, boss.
Yeah, tell him about that gun line, about. Tell him
Tell about that gun line. Tell about that gun line out there, Bo.
So that was Hoppin' Bob. He's gonna get shot by Hoppin' Bob if you could cross the gun line.
So was Hoppin' Bob? Was he an inmate?
I think he was. I think no, actually no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was just the down bad black man. He was a coon. He was a coon for real. That's just everything Master told him to do, he was gonna do it.
Okay. I thought he was an inmate, and you know.
He ended up getting good grace.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And so trivia, this is Anthony Anderson's first film. So that's why he's looking. He looked big.
Looking extra chunky.
He was big. He's on that grill looking big. He's like, all right now, this for you. He's looking big.
Can't get right.
He said, "This one for you, baby." Had that nasty
His name was Biscuit, wasn't it?
Nah, that was
Biscuit was the Juana Man. I forget his name.
He was the cook. It seemed like though for some reason.
Yeah, no, he was on that grill. He was in there cooking.
He was the cook when they was in there talking about the toast. He was the cook then. He was looking like, "Hey, man."
Lucky number 7.
All right, let me lost my plate.
Anthony Anderson. Cookie.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yep, that's his name. Cookie. Yep.
Cookie.
I said he was the cook. Nigga's name was Cookie. But
Okay. it makes sense.
Yeah, so we got so at this point we meet inmates. So we got Django Leg, which is Bernie Mac.
I didn't know what it meant until I was an adult.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't realize they was calling it until I watched it this time. I didn't realize that's why they called him that. And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I knew why they called him it because when Eddie Murphy was like, "Shit, nigga, you gonna find out before me," I was like, "Oh."
I forgot they did all that. I forgot all that part happened. I just thought he was,
like a lady.
Like a lady.
yeah, I didn't realize how bad he wanted Claude. He's like, your hands nice and supple, like a lady.
Like a
He
lady.
said, "What I tell you about Pitch and Woo?"
Pitching Woo on the Django Leg. What I tell you about
Nobody
Pitching
doing
Woo? I don't see nothing.
Nobody do that.
Sorry, Bo.
All right.
Pitching
So
Woo on
you
the
got Django
job.
Leg. Like, so he made a pass at Claude when they first got there. And then Willie Long, you got Biscuit, Like I said, I didn't realize they was together. I didn't realize they was together until like this time too.
We gonna get to that later. Introduce the cast. I got some here.
We got Radio. We got Goldmouth, which is the bully that tries to pick on Raven first gets there too, and they kind of you'll see in a second. We got Cookie the chef and Poker Face.
Look at number 7.
My man. So at this point, when they get there, Ray is trying to, because like I said, Claude is he don't realize what's going on. So when so what's his name? Goldmouth is like, hey, I want your cornbread. He's like, go ahead. You gonna take my cornbread? He's like, okay, go ahead.
No. Time out, Kenny. You're going too fast. Go back to how them niggas got here. when they was eating, tell them how they got
introducing each other. Like
when they were introducing each other.
Oh yeah.
What'd you do to get in here? He said he kept it his half sister. He said, "Well, he's my half sister."
That scene, I know that scene was not scripted. Bruh, there's no way.
Bro, how many takes did that take, bro?
It had to take a bunch. It had to take a bunch because like that, everything they said was funny in that scene. He said, I cut her in half. He said, at least I ain't killed Santa Claus. He said, you killed Santa Claus. He said, I ain't killed Santa Claus. It was a guy in a suit dressed like him.
He had a bear. He said, I ain't getting no presents.
He had presents. Then the nigga
he said he skipped his neighbor and wore as a coat or something
as a coat. He's like, shut up, Biscuit. At least I ain't skipping my neighbor and wearing that as a coat. Whoa.
He said, what y'all do to get in here? He said, hey, we was on a killing spree.
Multiple killing spree. He said, you ain't see us in there. He said, you ain't hear about us.
They did ain't hear because they was in jail. They knew they ain't hear about them. They was in jail.
Y'all ain't hear about us with multiple killing spree. Nigga said multiple killing.
So they was trying to look tough, which is, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because, you around these killers.
Hey, you know what? My bad. Sledge, like you said, you're going a little too far because I think that's when, like a little bit before that, is when they was out there, they was digging, they was hitting their little holes or whatever.
Help that nigga read.
And then you got to go back to when he had to read the letter.
Oh, I thought that was after this.
That was before this part, I think, because after that they got in a fight. Then after that it was something else, wasn't it?
I could have sworn it was after that because at that point they got cool with each other a little bit after that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I thought because he was reading. Okay, so when he's talking about when they were reading the note, he's reading the letters.
Anybody out here know how to read?
Yeah, he read. He was like, your mother,
that's a damn shame.
He's like, your mother died,
bro.
He was like, your dad died. Your other sister died.
It was nothing but bad news.
Yeah, the dog got worms. The dog got worms.
And the dog got worms. And he said, then he looked at, he said, dog got worms. And then he folded it back up.
He said, sister died. He said, oh, was it Betty? He's like, no, not Betty. It was the other. No, Betty died too.
Your dog got worms.
That's what he said.
He said the crops died. He said the crops died.
Yeah, nothing. And then Poker Face was just like,
he's like, all right. I mean, ain't nothing he can do. He's in jail. He's in jail for life. He's like, all right.
Like, have anybody else got any letters to be read? It's nope.
Yeah,
nope. Don't need that bad news on my
so like I said, so like I said, they end up what do you call it? They end up they on the fighting over the cornbread. He's like, you know what? He's like, I want your cornbread. He's like, you go ahead and have it. And Ray's like, nah. He's like, nah. If you take his cornbread, you're gonna be in there doing all kind of stuff for him. He's like, nah, you
clipping his toenails.
Yeah.
Gonna be clipping his toenails.
Like, nah, you don't want to do that.
Nah, man, keep your cornbread. Fuck him.
He did say that. Fuck him.
He said, nah, man, and nobody better not ask for my cornbread because part 2 of my killing spree. Nigga, you ain't even having part 1.
He had to try to look tough, but he's like, look, y'all ain't gonna take us like that. We ain't going for that.
He said, I'm from New York City, goddammit. got your ass whooped. New York City, goddammit. How about your cornbread?
He beating him down. He's beating him down. He was like, hey, look.
Hey, a bitch named Della that hit harder than you.
If you realize that was from talking about Harlem Nights. When he's saying that.
Hey, go
And like
Miles.
he beat him down. And then they end up stopping the fight. Then Cornbread picks him up. He's like, he ain't take my cornbread, Claude.
Hey,
Ugh.
time out. So damn. All right, so since you put that together, now, but his name wasn't Ray in there though, was it?
No, it wasn't him. His name was Quick or Trick, something like that.
It was quick.
Yeah, it's Quick. But the thing about that was his way of just doing a little
I
shout
like
out to
that
the
though,
movie.
because I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he
But
said, I know a
he
bitch
said-
can hit harder than you.
He said, Ray. He said, Ray, don't you think you made your point?
Because Claude, like I said, he wasn't realizing what was going on. He's like, bro, they will kill you in here. They will rape you and kill you in here. Like, no, bro, I'm not going. He's like, hey,
Don't
no, you
think
can't have my
made your
cornbread. nigga.
point? No. That is true though, because if you think about it, though, they ain't fuck with him after that.
No, they didn't. I mean, at that point, they have respect for him at that point. Because before that, they was trying to, saying they was rubbing hands and all kind of stuff. He's like, nah, we're not going for that.
Soft like a woman.
It's,
Remember they was eating at dinner and he was like, eyes forward, mister. I don't see that.
Yeah.
Right.
Eyes forward, mister.
Damn, I wasn't even thinking about that though either. Then with them being together, because that's wild. Okay, the only time
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I realized that they.
I didn't realize until this time around. I realized because when he was like trying to rub his hands, you see, what was his name? Biscuit, almost a Juana man again. Biscuit in the
He was
background.
rubbing his leg. He was looking. Remember he dropped the bucket.
About to say, now I
He dropped the
remember
bucket
like
in the
the only
background.
part that really made me realize it is when they was at the little thing and he was dancing and he was fucking it up with old girl, and then that's when he was like, oh, you don't mean nothing.
Don't worry
to me.
about
He was
him.
Like,
He
nah,
said,
that's
don't
not
worry
even
about him.
that. So yeah, so that's when I was like,
nigga wasn't even gay for 15
that's when I
minutes.
put it together with them two. But I didn't think nothing about that before. That's wild.
He dropped the bucket. You remember? You don't remember that in the scene when he was grabbing his hand? He dropped the bucket. He's like, J-Lane, what I tell you about put your woo in the job? And right behind the black the dude I thought I was in prison that was just being a coon. Miguel Nunez hopping by. Miguel Nunez dropped the bucket and put it across his head. He was like, oh my God, like, bruh, y'all gotta watch, bro. He dropped the bucket when he's like, put your woo in the job.
I wasn't putting that together still. And I got the picture woo and all that. I say, but
he drops the bucket. He dropped the bucket. That's what I knew. He was up.
So at this point, Claude, he gets the fake marriage for with Sanaa so he can mess around with her for the conjugal visit. And so we get a little scene where Ray's talking about the boom boom room. And he's like, he tells everybody about the boom boom room. Like, so, and if you don't know, because some people thought he really had it. No, this was the way to escape their current situation. So we're all talking about, what their job is in the boom boom room.
That was to keep their hope up.
Yeah. Keep the hope up and just give them some kind of just some kind of hope, like because they in there.
You in there for life. We gotta laugh a little bit.
Yeah, it's sad.
You gotta who still got a dream.
Just get away from reality for a little bit.
Yeah.
Niggas knew that boom boom room was never gonna happen.
Yeah. He said, hey, man. Nobody want to hear that.
Trying to hear that shit. They like, hey, man, go to bed, man. Nobody, shut up. Don't try to mess up my fun.
Y'all got gambling.
He said, who they got there? He said, we had Satchmo. He said, Satchmo?
Who had last night?
And then Biscuit comes in.
Yeah, singing a song.
I got a girl 5'2", and she look like you.
He was singing too.
He said, that's right. He said, y'all got gambling in there? He said, look at them. He said, of course we got gambling in there, poker face. Then he had the nigga cooking, and he was like, and then Ray came in. He's like, that's right. At Ray's boom boom room.
He said, I sure like to see that place when it's up and running.
He said, like, the boom boom room. What did he say? Yeah, the boom boom room. And then Martin was in there. He's like,
shut up,
like,
boy.
Clean up. Yeah, shut up or clean up or something. Like, clean up.
Like, I call him Satchmo.
Satchmo. I know him personally. I call him Satchmo. And then they came in there. People came in there.
I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah. No, what is this nigga's name, bro? The informant with the coon. What is his name? Javi Bond came in there. He was like, Gibson.
He said, "Shut your
Shut
fat
your-
ass up, boy." He farted.
Gibson.
Yes, when he had that big ass.
And then they said, he said,
Gibson. Them niggas was kicking it at lights out.
he said, "This steak tastes just like butter." He said, "Man, it's made just for you, Cookie."
It's just for you, Cookie.
He said, "We got the Worcestershire." He said, "Worcestershire sauce." Yeah, he said, "Clean up that damn table before I whoop your ass." Something wrong with the ears? Move it.
Bro, because we in here having a good time and you just ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Like, come on, bro. We are in here for life. There's no going
Bro,
back.
Let us get this escape.
Man.
He said, "Ray, I know your club got gambling."
I know your club got gambling.
I said that all the time.
I know your club got gambling.
Said, "Let it ride."
Didn't Goldmouth say like, cause it ain't one or something like that?
Oh, yeah, in the beginning he did. That was when they were outside. But then when he brought it back up in the room, at that point they was like, "Look, we need something. Give us a good story." They knew he was lying, but they was like, "Get us something." So go back. So he said you got work in the morning. They're like, "Okay, bet, whatever." So at this point, Melvin Banks, Esquire, attorney at law, he is trying to get them out. And Martin Lawrence is being selfish right here. He's like telling him, he's like, "Look, worry about me. Don't worry about him." And I'm like, so you see his character is real selfish. And so after a while, you see them come back, and he's got his letter, and you see that the lawyer ran off with
the girlfriend.
Lathan. Ran off with Sanaa Lathan and couldn't get them out. So Ray's calling him out on him because before that, Ray was like, "Hey, we trying to go." He's like, "Ain't no we." He's like, "It's just me and he's me and there's you." So at this point, he was like, "Yeah, I heard you was trying to escape. Like, you still trying to do that?" He's like, "What? We?" He said, "Oh, the we get some bad news in that letter back there. Why the we?" So he was salty. Yeah, when he said, he says, "Oh, that was we again. What happened? Bad news in that letter back there."
Them niggas was fighting, right? They started fighting.
Is that at this point, so he's like, you know what? He's like, because at this point, because as you see, Ray, no matter what in the movie, Ray was always looking out for Claude.
Ray was always solid,
always looking out for him, and Claude was always by himself until later on. You'll see later on, but for the longest, it was always Ray looking out for him. Anytime he had a plan, he's like, "Look, we can get out of here," and Claude's like, "Nah." So Claude wasn't trying to plane. Yeah. I was gonna say. So they end up trying to get out, and they get into a fake fight. It looked real at the time, but they get into a fake fight, and Hoppin' Bob was like, "Hey, we ain't doing that fighting now." So he jumps in, and they snatch him up too. But when they do it, because Hoppin' Bob, he can't read, and all he can do is count. So he counts everybody, and before that, you see him. He counts rocks.
He counts pebbles.
He counts little pebbles. So they take two of his pebbles so they can try to escape later on the night, and they escape. And he said, "Man, he said, I didn't see that same tree." So it's later. He's like, "I didn't see that same tree." He's like, "What was your map?" He said, "Man, I ain't had no map. I ain't no map." He's like, "I just said that so you can come along." He's like, "Bro, what?" So then they end up getting taken back, and they both, I think they both on the hole at that point. But they end up breaking down. They got as far as Tallahatchie. I think that's what they said, Tallahatchie, before they get captured. So now it's 12 years later, 1944, and Claude and Ray they meet. You see, so what?
Looking like about World War I now, ain't it?
Yeah, 44.
World War II.
So 12 years later, Claude and Ray they meet the young inmate Can't Get Right. Y'all know I can't stand that nigga that play him.
Hey, he's a good actor.
Bokeem Woodbine, I can't stand that nigga. I can't stand him.
He said, "Sir," he said, "You don't acknowledge me." He said, "Sir, he can't talk, sir." He can't talk.
So they playing baseball and they trying to tell him like, this is what you got to do, because he kind of slow. He's real slow.
Kinda.
He was, yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't even think Can't Get Right was slow.
He was slow. You see the way he was looking when the white girl came up. He was
"Hey man, get out of there! Get out of there!"
That
Hey,
way,
man, he said, hey man,
who seen that nigga dancing and shit? He was on skipping around.
yeah, I said he was slow, but he had the strength. But so he's so we get to the
Wow, ain't nobody gonna catch that but
he
me.
knocked it out the park. He knocked it out the park. In and out the field. He knocked it out the park. In and out the field. Knocked it out the park. So they end up so I guess they end up training with him, you know, get him right. And like I say, you see the white woman, which was the
That was the daughter of the.
That was the warden. That was the warden's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if he's the warden or not. Yeah, he was the warden's daughter.
At the time.
And yeah. The warden that was
He
the first and last time.
Nah, that wasn't him.
Wasn't the same warden when they got older?
No.
That's when
they say because after he slept, just real quick, because he slept with the daughter, and then they try to figure out who the baby's dad is, and you know everybody's like they pull a Spartacus like it was me. Oh, it was me. You know, I'm that boy's daddy. No, I'm that boy's
boy. Anybody can see that I'm that baby's daddy.
Yeah, it was he said anybody can see that baby belongs to me. Anybody can see that baby belongs to me.
Little rascal, there's mine, boss. That little rascal.
Hey,
I'm that boy's Paul.
That just shows that they really stuck together. Like we all we got.
That's
for real.
Up, though. Yeah.
I'll be that boy's Paul.
Yeah, I'm happy. And everybody
Yeah.
started laughing. Even the white dudes started laughing.
It was weak. But
and that's what they said. That's the last time they seen that war.
Listen, the last time he came into that thing, that's the last time. Because the baby was black. If you don't know, the baby was black.
That baby was black as hell.
He said, oh, his face dropped like, oh.
He said, "Show me that grand boy."
I need everybody.
He was happy.
I need everybody out here right now. Like, how did you know it was an inmate though?
He said, "It's a biggin." He said, "A big."
That's the only black people they know. They think about it. That's the only black people they know. I come up here and all of a sudden this happens. It's one of
Give me
y'all.
my baby. She said, "Daddy, give me my baby."
When he got close to can't get right.
Daddy, give me my baby.
My baby.
Because that nigga was over there giggling.
Yeah, he was.
Hey, he was smart enough to know where the coochie was
at. I'm saying, knock it in and out the park.
I'm pretty sure she still helped out though. You know what I
mean? He was like, "Oh, what's that movie they did that on?" She was like, was that Dead Presidents or was that
ATL? She said,
was that the Wood? Was that the Wood? Oh, but ATL did it too. but they had seen like that. She was like, "Oh, you know," she's like, "No, wrong one right here." She's like, "No, right here."
I'm pretty sure she helped. Sorry.
He said, "Woo!"
Oh, hey, move on. Move on. We're moving on.
It made me think of because I immediately thought of radio when he was in that little shed and they was throwing the football.
Nah.
That's what I thought. All right, let me stop. I just thought about that scene. Made me think of that. So you had to make that face. You had to make that face. So they talk to like he's like I guess like a scout for the Negro League.
He's a scout for the Negro Leagues.
And they're pretty much like, "Look, you know, this guy you want to look at." And he's like, "Look, so you get him out, you know, get us out too." And he's like, "All right, you know, I got y'all, whatever, I got y'all." He's like, "I'll look at you."
I don't even know when he was born. I don't even know when this nigga was born.
So at this point, when they had they were able to Can't Get Right out because of how talented he was, but they couldn't get Ray and Claude out. He's like, "Y'all really don't have no talent for real." Yeah, he's like, "Y'all really don't have no talent for real." And he had a point because it's like, okay, y'all did a good job, you know, I guess training him, whatever. But at the end of the day, we can get trainers.
I was about to say, we can do better.
Yeah. I'm about to say, this their job, like, you know.
No, but the difference is the patience.
Yeah. I mean, they was trying. Because that was their meal ticket. That's why this part Claude is like he's disgusted. He's hurt. He's like, "Man, that was our ticket out of here, man." Like, so he's depressed after that. So they said when Can't Get Right left, the piece of Claude left with him.
He said, "We
And,
here for life." Oh, that's when you figure it out.
yeah. But because
This
it didn't,
shit.
because again, he's not perceptive like that, so he didn't realize, like, bro, like we stuck in here for life. Like, you thought just because you had some good plan, we out of here. Like, Ray Ben had plans. Like, nigga, I've been trying to escape. And you see, like, say he tried to escape, but he tried to escape by airplane. He tried to escape.
Which I don't get that part.
I guess there was like an old broken down like plane in the back. He was trying to get that work.
My thing is, when he crashed, you see all that fire go up.
Yeah, he should have been. He should have been dead. But it was funny to see he was all black like that.
I said, y'all gonna say that. I said, y'all gonna say that.
Hey, but just think though. Say Ray did get out of there in that plane, right? He didn't crash. How sick would Claude be?
I'm gonna say he wasn't coming back for Claude.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't saying he was coming back, but now you be like, Ray selfish ass that left me.
Yeah.
I mean, if he really would have got away, I think my question is, if he really would have got away, would they really be looking for him?
At that point, no. At that point, I feel like they would. They wouldn't, because at that point, when you in the air, they ain't doing it. Look, you saw how bad that security situation was. Really think about it.
There's no.
If you cross that line, I'm gonna shoot you. Them niggas gotta go to sleep. Them niggas all go to sleep.
So basically, when it comes to the gun line, because in the movie, towards the middle of the movie, it showed like if you make it to the gun line, you deserve to be gone. Like if you make it past this gun line, you deserve to be out.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I was like, you can for real, you can get out of there. You could get out of there.
I don't know, because they caught them motherfuckers in the dead of night still.
They did because they had dogs. They didn't get nowhere for real. They didn't. He said we said
they didn't get no. Like, the niggas did.
But my thing is though, they still was going to try to track them down. However far they went, they was going to track them down until they couldn't track them no more.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, he wrote a plane, so like we don't know how. Like, let's just say he didn't make it to New York City. He made it to Kentucky.
Oh yeah, I get that in that plane. If he got away in the plane, but I'm saying with them on ground, if you would have got past the gun line, I think they would have still came after you though. Even if you got past the gun line. Say they missed with a bullet or two. Okay, well, motherfucker, we're gonna bring you back and you gonna probably have to do some type of punishment. We still might kill you. A week in a hole, yeah.
Yeah, so so he kept trying to escape still. But like I said, Claw's depressed. He's not even trying to like escape at this point. And so we get to the part where let me see. So there's they got like a little dance thing going on for them. And Biscuit gets news that he's out, like he's about to get out. And Ray's like, man, you need to be happy, man. Go ahead, like go ahead and dance.
I can't go home like this.
Yeah. So with Biscuit being gay, he's like, I can't go home like this. He's like, I didn't come in. Saying I ain't leaving the way I came in. And he's like, man, look.
Actually,
man,
technically, you are. But go ahead.
Well, he got turned. Well, Finger Leg turned him out. That's the he got turned out. But it was like, but he said I can't go home like this. He was like, he's my mom wouldn't accept me like this. He's like, I can't do this. And then he's like, man, look, he's like, you got the best news, everybody in here. You need to smile. He's like, go ahead, smile for me.
He said,
a weak smile he did. He said, there you go. He's also going to get this dance. So he's in there dancing. And Biscuit, he's just sitting there, like I said, he's like, I can't do this. And then he sprints off and runs towards that gun line trying to escape. Like I said, his broad daylight.
So was this suicide? It was
suicide. He already knew what it was. He knew he wasn't getting away. It was one of those things where he's like, I can't go home like this. I'd rather die than be gay. That's how it was. So
they didn't want to shoot him either.
They didn't. They didn't. And you know who shot him?
The nigga that shot him. Now the dude that did shoot him, he was thirsty to shoot him. It seemed like, oh damn, y'all see my nugget on the camera and shit.
You all right?
I'm about to say, the dude that did shoot him, he was thirsty to shoot him because Hopper Bob or whatever, the one that was always threatening to, you see, he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it.
Hopper Bob was like, because like he just got the good news, and Hopper Bob, like he as much as he threatened them, he still had a love for them. He still had a love for all of them. Like they always like. Yeah, I was able with each other every day. They like, and like I said, it's to the point, like I said, they was all cool with each other. They all laughing with that Bernie Mac jokes. Like they all was cool with each other.
Because the white dude even said, "Where you going, boy?"
Yeah, because they knew what was up, and it was like, bro, don't do this. And
Like,
so he was
going,
salty.
boy?
And then the person that shot him, by the way, was Nipsey from Martin. That was Nipsey. You go back and look.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Nipsey. Yeah, that shot him. But yeah, like I say, he knew he was dead. That's why he ran off. So he committed suicide, pretty much. And like I said, everybody was all stuck.
But that's what
J-Leg.
that's when I was like, oh
these
man,
niggas loved each other.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he loved it. He loved it.
They was old at that point too, kind of like, but they wasn't old. But you could see how he was.
They were like in their 40s. I want to say they were like 40s, 50s. Because you saw them getting old when they had Can't Get Right, because their mustache was real thick when they had Can't Get Right.
But at that point, Can't Get Right was already gone though.
No, I'm saying they were getting older then. So they was like young when they first got in, but then they was getting older when they had Can't Get Right. At this point, they was getting old.
About to say, yeah, because that's when I think they was later than their 40s though, for real. Because Bernie Mac was looking kind of old when he pulled that "get off of me," whatever. And he was going out there. He looked kind of older right there at that part. So I would think when he took the arm off, because after that happened, you saw them. By the way, Bernie Mac picks him up. You know, he's like, "Oh, get off me!" You know, you gotta get his man's. But
get his man.
Get his man's. So I think.
All right.
Because like I said, he tried to escape. Like I said, it didn't work. So because after that, remember, it jumped to 1972, and at that point, we saw everybody had died. We saw everybody had died.
Okay, so hear me out though. Did everybody die, or did everybody? Or did some of them? Like, I don't think Radio died. Maybe Radio got out.
Nah, them niggas died. It showed me they all got old and died. Remember, they was in there killing niggas and skinning niggas. Like, they're in there for life.
I got Chicago. Nigga, somebody just died. Nigga, I got Chicago. Nigga, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, like I said, they get to the 70s, and like I said, at this point, like I said, they're old, and Ray and Claude are speaking at this point.
That Wyclef John.
Yeah.
That Wyclef playing.
I mean, there's a voice going on outside.
That's on hard.
Nobody said from.
So for Slade, we're gonna say some of them. We're gonna get some hope. So we're gonna say some died, some got released. We're gonna give them some hope.
I don't think Cookie just died, bro. I don't want to.
He died. You see the way he threw that stuff up? He was like, "Nigga died."
Jagger looked back. Goldmouth looked back. Goldmouth looked back.
Goldmouth. He was like,
Goldmouth looked old as shit when he died.
They all look old. They all look old, but he looked nasty when he died.
Took really long to the infirmary. Well, not the infirmary, to the nursing home.
So the only person that we know of that's still around is was that name Willie Long?
Willie Long.
Yeah, my nigga from How High.
That's Barry Gordy. Oh, you said How High. I was talking about. I mean, that was Barry. I thought that was Barry. He played Barry Gordy on the Temptations movie, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We'll say. I know from How High. You see, you were eating Cheetos on a 19.
He said, "I know the bitch that make these rugs."
Yeah,
I know the bitch that make these rugs. That's funny.
So one day, Claude, like, he smells pie, and he kind of snapped. He snapped. He brought him back to that memory. He's like, "Man, like, fuck all this."
This
like,
is the reason why I'm here.
Yeah, like so he runs, and he dipping in bullets too. Yeah. He doing this. This is what Ricky should have did when he was getting shot at. What he was doing, he was dipping in bullets. So they steals a pie. And the pie was too hot. He burns his mouth.
So was that pie? So was that house always there?
Yeah, he was always there. There was a whole bunch of little houses there, which, like I said again, which is dumb because you in there with murderers and rapists. The niggas can break out of there and just rape that poor lady. Like, they could have raped her. You don't know. That's not safe at all. But
he said white only. He said white only pass and ran over there.
He had a flashback and started sprinting. And like I said, burned his mouth, and he gets punished by having to stand barefoot on a case of bottles. And if he fell off, he gonna get shot.
That's crazy.
Yes, that is wild.
He said I'd have put a bullet in your ass.
So he tells Ray I forget the guy's name. The CO tells Ray, if you shoot him, if he falls, I'll walk you out of here. He's like, man, how you know? He's like, I'm gonna shoot you with that gun. That's how I'm feeling right now. He's like, if I got the gun, I'm gonna shoot you. He's like, wrong answer, boy. He says right next to him. But that
Put that
shows
nigga
you
right on the
again
bottom. It's
that no
loyalty.
matter what, Ray had his back. No matter what, even though they weren't talking, he still had his back. They weren't talking for years.
20
Too. They got old.
years.
Yeah, they got old. And he's like, he said, man, if I was you, I would have shot your ass. And I would be on the way to
Put a
New
bullet
York.
in your
Oh,
ass.
still
I've been
being
on the
selfish
first
and
train to
shit.
New York City.
Selfish.
Put a
On
bullet
the
in
first
your
thing
ass.
smoking.
And
Gotta put
again
a
you
bullet
see
in your ass.
them break. He's like, I told him slip in the dead bottle. They start
Whoop,
laughing.
whoop, whoop, whoop. I told him slipped in the
I told him,
goddamn
slip in the bottle.
He said, I heard you. He said, I heard your mama died. What did he say? Ray or Chloe? Like, I heard your mama. He's like, yeah, that was like 5 years ago. But...
Yeah, that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
But thank you.
He said, well, he wasn't talking then, so I got the first hand.
He said, that was about 6 years, but thank you. He said, but thank you.
So Claude ends up apologizing, and like I said, they make amends. And Ray and Claude, they're transferred to live and work at this superintendent's mansion, Dexter Wilkins. And
Now,
Ray's doing.
That's when the dude said, every morning I wake up and I pray that Claude and Ray to die they sleep. And every morning, y'all let me
That's
down.
messed up. That's messed up.
That's
And they
hilarious.
And they looked at him like, hey, that's how you really feel it?
Yeah.
He was like,
man,
sorry,
that's how
boss.
You really don't like me, do you? You really don't
Like,
like me,
you
do
really
you?
don't like me, do you? Because they did look at him. They looked like, damn. Like,
They was like, sorry, boss.
You really don't like me, do you? So like I said, Ray's doing the yard work while Claude works on the inside. He pretty much the house nigga. He's the house nigga.
basically. But listen though, Ray was sick that Claude was in the house working.
That's what I'm saying. Like he had to think about it because he was like, bro, he was out there. You know, it was hot
Doing
outside.
the
So
shrubberies.
he was
And he was
in
talking
shrubbery.
shit to him. He said, yard
He
boy.
said, Yard boy. I was a yard boy. He said the shrubbery needs more work.
It
He
needs
needs
more
tended to. He said, to them shears said,
He said, well, what the hell you think you about to do? He said, the driver got the flu. And I said, nigga, you can't drive. Them old niggas was hating on each other.
I was gonna
You
say from
can't
this
drive.
point on, because this movie's already funny, so don't get me wrong, movie's already hilarious.
This is
From
when
this
it got.
point on, they were in their comedy bag. Everything they said
Yeah.
is old man.
Therefore, he said,
It got
"What the
hilarious
hell?"
at that point.
And when you think about it too, in my opinion, because I said in the first half when they were younger, in the first half, Claude was the straight man, and Ray was the funny one. In the second half, low key, Martin was just as funny, if not funnier, in the second half. The stuff he was doing was hilarious.
Nah,
I'm saying, it was you can argue he was funnier. Like he was funny too in the second half. Right? Martin was really showing out. In the
He
second
was
half.
funny too. About to say he got funny when it started at when he, you know, the pie area. God damn it, Ray.
Yeah, that's it. That's where we're in now. I'm
That's
saying
when
we're at now.
that's
It
when
gets
he
funnier
got
for him.
I done put
But I
a
still
bullet in
think
your
Eddie
ass
was
and
on
put a
him, though.
bitch.
Yeah, see, they both were hilarious. And like I said, he goes to pick up the call. Goes to pick up the new superintendent, which is Warren Pike, Sheriff Warren Pike. And at this point, Ray notices that Pike has his dad's watch, and he's like, "Where you get that from?" And he was like, "Because now at this point, this is 40 years later. This one is 40 years later."
This is we're old.
We don't
and
talk
give
about
a
the
damn.
hunting trip.
We
now,
don't give a
right?
damn no more. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is on the on the
Nah,
festival. This hunting
he's
festival.
like, this is we old and we don't give a damn what goes on after this.
And
but-
when we think about it, because like you think if they're at their youngest, let's say they were 20 at their youngest. Well, we know they weren't; they were older. But let's say at 20, this is 40 years later. So at the very youngest, they were 60. At the very youngest,
Nah, they was older than that. They
I
was
think
older
it was
than
older
that.
than
That's what I'm saying. That's saying if we saying 20, it's saying the very youngest 20, they're 60 now. So realistically, their characters are probably like 28, 29 when they went in. So they were probably like 70.
Them niggas started asking questions of them niggas. Them niggas started acting. Them niggas was like, excuse me if I don't laugh. Like, we're old now. We about to die
they're
here
old.
anyway. I don't give a damn what I got to say.
And this is the disrespectful part right here. This is the disrespectful part. The reason why I know he said this is the reason why I know it's 40 years later, because this nigga was like, it's my dad's watch.
40
He
years
lied and
back.
said my wife got it for me for my anniversary, but he's like, about 40 years back, huh? And he's
Hold
like,
on, wait,
what?
but you still about to say you missed it. I'm gonna put it on you. But that's
I
what
think
they
it
were.
was after this.
That was
Goes up.
before that, because after that was, they
Yeah, you're
ended
right.
up
You're right.
They ended up going
right.
up. You feel me? Like,
You're right. Yeah, because this point he said Ray was like, you got a plan? And he was like, He
He
said,
said,
man, I
nigga,
ain't
you,
got no
he said,
plan.
what you over there thinking about? You better tell me what you
I
thinking.
know
Tell me,
you
yeah.
over there brewing something. You over there brewing something.
I know you over there doing this. I ain't doing nothing.
He said, I'm trying to go. He said, your weak ass bladder. I hope you piss on yourself.
Yourself.
Why you
He said, hey, man,
shit like that?
Man, shit like that. He said, "Oh, it's because I'm a nasty
I'm a
nigga."
nasty.
Because you remember he was because they picked bro up. They picked bro up. He figured out who it was.
Yeah.
Remember he had an epiphany. This was like
Well, he realized
late
like he
70s.
saw the scar. He saw the scar, and then like I said, he had the watch, and he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute now, wait a minute. That's he said, that's my dad's watch." And so he they get into a little scuffle, and then he pulls a gun out on him, and then they're like, "No, Ray, don't do it, don't do it." And then and dude shoots him because the man yells out. He said,
at least they got 40
cheap labor.
hard years.
40 years of cheap labor, and then Martin said, "Let me shoot him."
Yeah, that's it. He was heated, and that's it. I was like that. Not only was the evil, like you made it known that you put the murder on me. Like, nah, you got to go. You've been out here free. You've been out here free. And I've been in jail. You know, saying paying for your crime. So
he probably didn't even remember them though. That's the sad thing about it.
He did.
Nah,
he did.
remember.
He's so used to killing niggas. Remember, he killed. Well, not just killing, but just doing stuff. Remember, he killed old boy like in cold blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't care years of hard labor. He said, "Motherfucker."
He said, hold on, let me shoot him.
Yeah, let me. So old boy, the new superintendent, he kills him, and they're like, what? They look at him like, what? So you saw that he was like, okay, like I kind of believe y'all. So then he tells Wilkins that Pike framed him and Claude for murder, and the sheriff, like I said, he had missed, he missed too, like he's like, he got cheap labor for 40 years. So they end up killing him, and Claude, he's talking to watch. Yeah. Ray grabbed a watch. He's all right. So Wilkins covers it up as a hunting accident, and he apologizes to Ray and Claude, for them going to prison, wrongfully in prison. And he's like, I'm gonna get you your pardons. But then
right on the toilet.
This man dies he gets a heart attack on the toilet before he can do it. It's like, dang, that's crazy. So now it's another 20 years later. Now they're in 97 now. Like now it's like present time now. So it's 97, and Ray and Claude, they live in a prison infirmary with Willie now. And Claude tells Ray of a new plan, and Ray's like, "Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit.
We're gonna die in here."
Yeah, he's like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. And Claude's like, "Come on, man, I got something for you." He's like, "Oh, you got a plan now. You making plans. We start making plans." So he's like, "Just trust me. Trust me. I got a plan." So later that night, the infirmary catches fire.
Damn! Wait, we ain't gonna talk about you know how they bring that shit in here, right?
Oh yeah.
Sniffer.
I'm getting the big scenes. Yeah. So he the one dude starts he pulls out some coke. And he starts snorting. He's like,
you
hey,
wanna bump me?
Yeah, you want to bump? He's like, nah. He's like, you know that brother, bring that in here. And he was like, what? And he was like, they bring it into their ass. He's like, he's got booty particles. Nigga, like, nah. He's like, yeah, we don't want that. He's like, you go right ahead. He's like, you go right ahead, snort that if you want to. He's like, I'm good on that. That's all you.
He did call him an ass sniffer, and then the nigga was like, it's time for Jello. He's like, ain't nobody.
Yeah.
That's when they had their little scene though too on the bench when they was like, "Yep, we next, right? You like baseball? We on deck.
We on deck. We on deck."
At this point, it's 60 years later. At this point, it's 60 years later.
Crazy,
damn. That's crazy.
60
dog,
years later now. So, like I said, again, if they was 20, they 80 now. They 80 now. After 20.
He said, "We up next. We on deck."
You know what I'm saying? Realistic, they're like 92 years old. Like realistic, they're like 92 years old, bro. They're old.
I'm gonna come to your funeral like and sing, dude.
They're old. This point, they're about 92 years old.
He said, "Let them shoot me." He said, "I'm gonna bust in the upper room."
The bust
Cause I'm a nasty nigga.
What you gonna look? let them shoot me.
This part is they don't care about they old. They don't
care.
So So the infirmary catches fire and Claude is in there, and Ray's like, no. So he walks in there and looks like they both died. And the inmates are all sad. They're like, no. Oh boy, had an ugly cry. He's like, ah! He had an ugly cry. Ah!
Why the fuck? Well, why didn't they think about this 40 years ago?
Because I don't know. But then again, they weren't living there. Remember, they weren't living exactly
At
there.
that
I don't know if they
point,
could have got
you
away with
know.
that. Yeah. But yeah, because Claude finally came up with a good plan after about 60 years later.
He got smarter.
Yeah, it was 60 years later. They all,
He found, where do you find these dead bodies at?
yeah,
Nigga,
yeah.
they was right there with him. Like they was in the same.
And who helped you with these dead bodies?
I feel like Claude was probably strong then. Still, I mean, nigga been swinging an axe for a while now. I think or whatever, you know, like
because like I said, at this point, like I said, they had so if you don't know, like I said, you see that the like I said, it looks like they died, but the workers that Willie was talking to, you know, he's telling the story throughout this whole thing, and he's like, he's like, are these the bodies? And then he's just like, and he like kind of like you know, he wheels himself away.
What you mean, old timer? These the bodies?
Yeah.
Old timer.
Yeah, he's like, so the plan didn't work. Huh? He's like, I ain't saying all that now. He's like, I ain't saying all that now.
Then it shows them at a baseball game.
Yeah, it was a Yankees game.
They
And look,
did the wave ball.
this is how old they are now. This is how old they are now.
They couldn't
Can't get right is probably a legend now. He's probably considered a legend now. Like he's probably considered a legend.
Well,
That's
can't
how
get
old
right
they
then
are.
play this career and retired for real.
It's about
yeah,
60 years. It's about 60 years later, and let's just say, you know, it was about 40 years later from when he was in the league playing and everything. He's old too. Like he's probably old too. So it's like, damn.
Remember, they was all doing the wave and they couldn't get it. They was like, oh.
They was old and rickety, and then the movie, like I said, it just shows they happy. Like, and it says Eddie and Ray both live in New York together.
Together. How long, nigga?
Yeah, like them niggas dead. I would say them niggas dead. They died at the game. Them niggas old. So they try to give it a happy ending, but it's like it's not, because like I said, they're 90-something years old now. They didn't live their entire lives in jail. Yeah, so it's one of the movies, like it's funny, but it's sad. That's where I'm at with it. It's funny, but it's sad.
Them niggas really did life. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Sure. But they may not have died in there, but them niggas died on the outside.
I feel like they still kind of died in there, but you know.
Usually I say, what did they learn? But I can't do that with them. That's not right. That's not right.
How to get out?
Yeah, I can't do that with them. That was wrong. They were wrongfully in prison for 60 years. I can't say, what did they learn? That's awful. That's messed up.
Johnson's name don't hold no weight.
Yeah. But he wasn't in that area though. Like
Johnson was dead by the time they got out.
Yeah, he
was
hell
old.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
old. And you gotta remember, like I said, he was their local crime boss. He wasn't worldwide. He wasn't worldwide. He wasn't Mr. Worldwide. So I was gonna say he was the real villain of the movie, but
society.
I was about to say it'd be racism back then.
Society.
They ain't give them a chance.
Jim Crow.
Yeah, I was about to say they didn't give them a chance back then.
Jim Crow.
And trying to think, because we ain't really have no love. I mean, I guess you can say Sanaa Lathan would be the love interest, but he already had her.
100.
We're gonna rate her out of 5. He said 100. Give her a solid 3.75. Give her a 4. You know,
you a fucking fool. Put your mom on the phone. You really said, hey, if I ever got Sanaa Lathan, put your mom on the phone.
He's like Harlow Knight said, I'll never come home.
I'll never come home. I'll leave my family. I will leave my family for Sanaa Lathan. You think I'm playing?
He's all right, honey. I never come home. And that was for old girl. That was for what's her name? Was her name Lisa on the Wayans Brothers?
Yeah, you know, he probably kicking himself in the ass right now because how she look now.
Oh snap! Yeah, her and what's her name? I seen somebody was talking the other day. They said her and Lark Voorhees. They was like, man, I had pictured them in my locker back in the day. They said, I don't want them now though.
Layla Rashawn is her name.
Yeah. But what are we rating this movie out of 5? Like I said, this is one of those classic. I I think this is one of the movies. If I had to say it, like top
It's a
10
five.
like black comedies, this is definitely up there. I don't know where I put
It's
it,
a five.
but it's definitely in there. Yeah, I give it a 5.
It's a
as well. The
five.
movie was great.
That nigga ended the movie and said, "That ain't my daddy's watch. That ain't my daddy's watch."
That ain't my daddy's watch. That's the thing about Eddie Murphy too. He was even funny in the bloopers. Like everything he said was even funny then too. Yeah, this whole movie, there's so many quotables in the movie. This is one of the ones. It's a classic. Like this is one of the ones you definitely go in the classic category.
That ain't my
But
daddy's
yeah,
watch.
I'm gonna. Yeah, like I said, I think we all gave it a 5. We all said 5, right?
Yes, across
Yeah,
the
yeah,
board.
we all gave it a 5. What's the before we end this? What's the best quote to y'all? What's the best quote or funniest scene?
The funniest scene?
Yeah, best quote or funniest scene. I'm trying to think. Funniest scene is probably I'll put the he's all peeing. He's like I hope you pissed the bed. He said if I do I'll put the sheets on you.
Put on you.
You saw Martin break and everything, and yeah, it's probably that.
My funniest scene is when he said, "Part 2 of my killing spree gonna go on." You nigga, you never had a part 1 though. That's
About to say,
that was just funny. He's like, well, y'all keep quit messing with me. He's like, I ain't going for that.
I
That was what he
said.
he said it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
He was trying to look tough. He's like, look, I ain't going for that. He's like, I ain't good at my
Take my cornbread.
yeah, my cornbread.
Fuck
Ain't
him.
none of that.
Here's my cornbread. Trying to take my cornbread is gonna be consequences and repercussions. Next scene.
He got pushed immediately.
Next scene. That had me weak.
He didn't even try to move. He seen that coming.
He got stuck.
He took that shit.
TK, what was yours?
That's what I was saying. I think it'll be that scene when they was introducing everybody's character and all that. What everybody did. I think it'll probably be in that area right there for real. Yeah.
All right. And then you said best quote before we get out of here.
Best
Best
quote.
quote.
The upper room.
Because like I said, so many quotes in the movie.
I'm about to say the upper room, and I was gonna
The
say,
upper
goddamn,
room.
right, my toe slipped in the bottom.
I'd have put a bullet in your ass.
Oh, I just thought about remember the blooper when he was like when his cell phone went off. He said, "Oh yeah, it's 1932. I'm the first one to have this."
I'm the first one to have it. What you got the cell phone? You got the cell phone in there for? No, the best quotable is he said, "What woman? That bitch that you see me choking."
Yeah, whatever you see me talking, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the
He
one
said,
I'm
"Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
she seemed real religious. I've seen her. She looked real religious."
That part was so funny to me because I forgot he said that. He said, yeah, the religious one, yeah, she looked real religious.
He said, "Oh, pay me the $2 to get the surgery done." Oh yeah, so the $2 is right enough. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's exactly what you needed.
Ain't
Yeah.
nobody,
Exactly.
he said,
$2. Okay. Yeah.
he said,
She looked
"Hey
real
man,
religious.
ain't nobody trying to hear that shit."
Or when he said, "Don't even say watch, say little clock or something. I'm gonna knock off your money. You're gonna be whistling all the way back to New York."
Them niggas ain't never make it back to New York.
Bro, when he said you're just gonna be whistling all the way, I'm gonna take all your fronts out. You're just gonna be whistling.
Bank teller.
I can't do this.
He's
He's whistling right here.
He couldn't whistle. He couldn't even whistle when he tried to do. Right, that's what he did.
Tell him about that gun line, boss. That's what I asked.
Nobody got line
When it
balls.
comes to that movie, I say that a lot. Tell him about that gun line, boss. He said,
They from New York City. They gave the long ride, boss. The long ride.
The long ride. That's crazy. That's
Live,
crazy.
huh? Live, huh?
The long ride. They from New York City. I'm from New York City, goddammit. I'm from New York City, goddammit.
Well, and what we rate this movie? We just say 5. All right, so we're gonna end it with this right here. You just committed suicide, boy.